Good morning, Coolest Coast. It's time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. This is Kristin Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. And to get started, I have to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kristin. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Have you ever considered becoming a singing telegram?
Never, not once.
You should. You should have a total career in it.
There were a couple of years that we did Christmas Carol in our neighborhood as a family, and that was really fun, but not a career.
We might be onto something here.
Tell us, this looks like such a happy moment.
Oh my gosh. So last weekend we went camping. We hung out. We played games. My mom made this amazing flourless chocolate cake. I know it's kind of like dark and not great. The lighting is weird. You get these weird reflections off the candles but you're right. It was a perfect moment. We had such a nice night. We had dinner out at Three Guys in a Grill in Elkhart Lake.
Oh, I've heard of it.
It's at the Marsh. Really good. Super good dinner. And then, coffee and chocolate.
And I have to say, never disparage flourless chocolate cake. I think that looks like it'd be amazing to tuck into.
It was so good. There was like one little teeny slice left yesterday. And the girls were like, can I have a bite? Can I have a bite? And I was like, no.
Are you the birthday girl? No.
It was Mother's Day and my birthday. I'm not sharing. So.
And your mom made it. That's so awesome.
Yes.
There's your mom.
There she is.
Were you able to be together for Mother's Day?
Yeah. So she came on Saturday. Nora had soccer in Sheboygan. So she came down and met us at soccer and then spent the day with us. Like I said, we rolled dice. I took the dogs for a walk. We, hung out at the campsite, had dinner, and then she stayed over with us and we got to have a great breakfast on Sunday morning. Doug made breakfast for us and
nice. Really did your mom pre-bake the cake? Like, did do it at home or did she do it at the camper?
No, she did it at home and then brought it.
Okay.
Yes.
Could you do something like that at the camper?
Could you? Yes. The oven, we do have an oven in the camper, but I would say it's a little bit more temperamental, like temperature wise, that like, if it was really important, I probably wouldn't risk it. But we've certainly done things in the oven, especially when the weather is bad.
So like if you were having a birthday emergency and had to bake a cake, you could, but if it can be done at home, all the better.
Yes. Or, like sometimes like pre-made cookie dough is fun to do in the camper as like a treat, but like I wouldn't typically haul along flour and sugar and Crisco and all, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Even just the cleanup almost wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah. Or sometimes we'll like bake at home on Thursday night and then just take treats along,
Yeah.
So, but I didn't have to because I knew my mom was bringing cake this time.
Thank God for moms, right?
Yes. Thank God for moms. How about your Mother's Day? How was your Mother's Day?
Oh, guess what? I wasn't sure when we talked last time if I'd get to see my mom because they were going to be down visiting my brother, but they came home a night early. So Jason and I woke up, it was like maybe 7 a.m. on Sunday. I'm like, wait, my mom texted me late last night that they were on their way home. Can we like do lunch together? Can we pull something together really quick? So Jason is amazing. At like 7:30 a.m., he's off to the grocery store. I'm texting my mom like, hey, you guys want to come for lunch? They're like, yeah. And so when Jason got back, I'm like, the only disappointing thing is there'll be no deviled eggs today. Like my mom knows how much I love deviled eggs and usually she'll bring them. She showed up. She still had deviled eggs. She like had time to make deviled eggs. Like moms are the best.
Did she know that you wanted the deviled eggs? Okay.
She knows I adore them. I could exist on deviled eggs.
Well, I really love deviled eggs too. I would actually say that they're like a problem because you can't just eat one or two. It's like you're 6 or 8 in and then you're like, oh my gosh, I think I just ate 4 eggs.
Yep. And it's the same way like you feel about the cake, right? Everybody wants them because they're so good. I'm like, no, give them all to me. I want them all.
What's interesting is maybe Nora would eat them. Nobody else in my immediate family would eat them. So, sometimes like we talked about at Easter time, we have the opposite problem. There's too many. So this is just proof that if you and I get together, we should have deviled eggs because we like split a dozen.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what though? I did play cribbage with my dad, and I think I might have to hang up my cribbage playing days. Like, I just could not. Kristen, every cut, every crib, everything like fell exactly like he needed it. He's got like this cribbage magic that is I can't I can't break the exterior. I can't get close. I don't know what to
Yeah.
do.
My mom would say that he has a horseshoe up his butt. I understand that. I played against your dad enough times to know that, like, yeah, there's something there. There's something there. We did not play any cribbage. We rolled dice. We played 10,000, which is kind of similar to Scrabble.
Oh, yeah, I love 10,000.
And I think my mom won a game, Josie won a game, I won a game, and then my mom won another game. So we had nice distribution of the winnings.
That's how a game should be, right? That's what makes it fun. Maybe you'll win, maybe you won't. When you just know you're up against loss after loss after loss, that's no fun.
No, it is not fun. It's not fun at all. We also played just a lot of catch. So like Josie and I just threw the softball. And I mean, full disclosure, yes, I used to coach and do all these things. It's been a hot minute since I like threw a ball, probably a year. And I was like, whew, I feel old. So I said,
It's
like, we got to warm up a little bit. Like, I am not in the zone.
it is shocking how fast that skill can go away. Like I
Yes.
remember, in high school, I played softball. I had a really good arm. And then it didn't take long for me to be like, sure, I'm good at this. And then like whiffed it. I'm like, oh, wow. Like if you don't practice, if you don't keep it up, there's a reason that people practice stuff, right?
And it just almost was like the muscles were like tight, like they hadn't been moved in that way in a long while. And, it got better and better, obviously, but it was just fun to be able to throw. I grew up just playing catch for hours with my brother. And so it was really just kind of reminiscent to be able to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And they're in the middle of their season right now, right?
Grace is almost done with the high school season. The JV only has like a week left. Varsity has a little bit more. And Josie's been doing some indoor practice since January because she's going to play on a travel team this summer. But
Whoa.
they're really just starting up. So that's really more like summer ball. So I think the weekend after Memorial Day that starts.
So she's kind of motivated to play some extra catch with that coming up.
Yeah, it's just good practice,
Yeah.
And like what else are you gonna do to pass the time? We walked, we rode bikes, that kind of stuff, but
And, Jason just told me before we went live a little bit ago that it's one of the coldest Mays that we've had in quite a while. How was that for camping?
it was fine. We actually had sunshine on Saturday and Sunday. Like Sunday morning was beautiful. But definitely still like we have winter hats and winter jackets along and we're bundling up. I would say this last week, so today, Monday night, Grace played softball at Citizens Park and it was freezing. Freezing, freezing.
By the way, Chris said, I love 10,000, have not played in ages. It
Oh,
was freezing.
yeah, so cold. I mean, I had my winter jacket on, I had a hat on, I had mittens on. We were wrapped up in blankets. Like, so I don't even know how the girls play. And it wasn't, I want to say the air temperature was like 47 or 48, something like that. But the wind, it just made it freezing.
Yeah.
So yeah, not fun. Now, last night was a little bit nicer, thankfully, but very windy. So,
So were you out of the elements before the storm passed through last night?
no, Nora was actually at the Lincoln soccer game last night and they had a 30-minute delay for lightning. And Grace was at the Lincoln varsity baseball game and they had a 30-minute delay for lightning. And Doug and I were at home and we're like, we're going to take the dogs for a walk. Like the air temperature is so nice. We have to get out. And we ended up sitting on the porch watching the rain fall because we just didn't want to walk in the rain.
I said to myself, it's supposed to be sunny at 7 after this passes. Go outside and look for a rainbow. And then I totally missed it. I didn't check. Did you see any rainbows?
There was a rainbow last night. Okay, let me think about this. Nora needed to be to Ron Rubik Field at 6:30. So we were driving there and there was a rainbow right at that time. And by the
Awesome.
time I turned around and like got done, it was gone.
Oh, just that fast. So ephemeral.
Yep. But I mean, I feel like the sun went away then, like it rained harder after that. So
Yeah. Well,
stinky.
speaking of the cool, you can tell we're both wearing sweaters again today. And it's funny, just before we went live, you said, I almost wore pink. And I literally was holding a white sweater and
Yeah.
decided to go with pink. So,
I had pink, but you know what? Like certain sweaters just have that like itchy feel. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this today. I can't do this here today.
I can't wear materials if they make me feel itchy or they're not really comfy.
Yeah.
Like I'm a mostly cotton gal.
I was like, nope, I need to find something else. So what you have on looks very comfy for today.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I feel like together, like with your fuzziness and my fuzziness, it goes. We should just be snuggled up.
I agree.
Hey, and what is this then, delightfulness?
Okay, so this is Mother's Day breakfast, Monday morning. Nope, Sunday morning. And you can't really see here, but Doug made pancakes.
Mm.
I had one with like butter and syrup on it, and then I had one with like Greek yogurt and fruit on it. And so it was almost gone, and I was like, wait, I should take a picture for Tina. So
Nice.
the picture, you can see my coffee cup's mostly empty, but it was delicious. And, I do the majority of the cooking at our house.
Oh, yeah.
So Doug was like, nope, I'm making breakfast. You and your mom can have coffee together. And the sun was shining. So I just really appreciated being able to pause for a little bit.
Oh, 100%. And this photo just has such a vibe too, right? You can see the green grass in the background, the yellow bananas, the red strawberries, the blue, the coffee cup has a whole camping vibe. It's the good feels.
There's a lot of patterns going on here now that I look at it, but welcome to the land of, hey, we're camping, we don't care.
Doug is so sweet too. Over the weekend, when he is the one that you sent me these pictures this morning, but I have to tell you, Doug actually sent them to me on the weekend. He said, just in case Kristin
Oh,
doesn't share them. So I thought that was pretty fantastic.
such a stinker like that.
But then you shared them this morning yourself, and I thought, awesome, everyone's in agreement here.
Yes. Yeah. No, he just made it for a great weekend, and he got me a new Kindle. So you guys, I've been reading off this little Kindle that I've probably had 8 years, maybe longer. And it doesn't always want to take a charge. It's very finicky about the cord. And so, I just continue to fight with it and get it in this like perfect spot so that it would recharge. And most of the time, I can get it to work or whatever. And he got me a new Kindle, and first of all, it's beautiful. He got me this beautiful like jade colored Kindle and a matching case.
Ooh.
But it's a little bit bigger. The words are a little bit bigger. I turned 45, so my eyesight, especially at night, my eyes are tired. It's just so nice to have a bigger screen, and the tone of it is a little bit different. So
Does it have that like paper-like screen where it's as if you're reading a book?
yes. And it can be like cool tones, which is what I prefer. So kind of more white, or it can be warm. So it can be, kind of like my sweater color, like a more yellow book, what like a book page would be. So
Do you find that time of day makes a difference at all? Like, do you like it brighter at a certain time and cream colored like at night or anything?
I don't really change the tone of it, but I do change the brightness. So during the day, I tend to turn the brightness up, but then like I read a lot in bed with the lights off. And so then I turn it down just because it feels so bright otherwise in the room. But so that was like a super practical gift, but something I'm so thankful for because like I'm already loving it.
Yeah. So, what's the first book going to be that you're reading on it?
What am I reading on? See, Tina, you ask me this all the time, and I just downloaded the names.
Oh, that is a really interesting book.
Which I think I was going to say, I feel like you gave me that title, and I've been waiting for it on Libby forever. So I have that I just got. And then I also have The River is Waiting
Oh, I don't know it.
by Wally Lamb. And so that one I also downloaded already, and then I'm reading right now, None of This Is True, which is kind of a mystery. Yeah, I would say mystery.
Oh.
I don't know what else I would say about it.
Is it good? Like, do you like it so far?
It's been good. Different. It's different than what I've been reading. More suspenseful.
Mm.
Like, where is this going? Um, but yeah, that it's been good. I'm almost done with that.
So it's interesting you mentioned like the wait time on Libby. My holds list on Libby is full, and I keep looking at like, what is the wait time? One of them I'm like number 75 out of 2000, right? Estimated 8-week wait time. So there's a book I just finished listening to. It was called Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Hmm.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Kind of reminded me of like Lessons in Chemistry, if you like that book, right? It was strong, female, science based. Um, but so on Libby, I mean, it's been on my Libby holds list for months. I think like 6 months, right? And so I was kind of gradually watching it as I was getting closer and closer. Well, over the weekend, Jason and I just sat down. We were going to play a Mario Kart race game. And it was just about to start, and I heard my phone buzz, and Teak was out and about. So I thought, oh, let me just check and see if he's saying something about when I'll be home or whatever. And I checked, and it was a notification from Libby that the book was available. I'm like, Jason, wait, don't start. I've got to borrow it right now. Because sometimes if you take too long to borrow it, it puts it back in the feed, and then so he
Yes.
goes, Tina, this is our very first book emergency.
Priorities, Jason, priorities.
Yep. I did not want to miss it.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, sometimes for a long time, the names, I mean, I waited for that a very, very long time. And then all of a sudden they pop up and it's like now you're first in line, right? So the thing that I struggle with, and it's like first world problems, is like I feel like I'm waiting and I'm like 275th in line. And then almost always two books become available at the same time.
Oh.
Me. So then it's almost like now you need to suspend one of them and wait on it in order to read the other one that you've, waited months for. So
Do you ever borrow them both and just commit to listening to them both? Or is that
I
yeah.
mean, I do sometimes, but like I only read at night most of the time.
Right.
So Doug and I had a little bit of travel in the first part of last week. So I did read in the airport and while I was on the plane. So I read through this one faster, but
Yeah, sometimes you're right. Suspending the hold where it just like bumps you back, but not all the way back, makes
yes.
more sense than if you actually borrowed it. Because
Yes.
then if you tried to reborrow it, you'd go back to the end of the line.
Right. And so like even the book, None of This Is True. The reason I got onto that was because these other books were all still waiting. So I went to see what's available now and downloaded that one. And then like the next day, so again, very minor, not a big deal, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what this comment says. Tim says, I find it hard to believe that was your first book related crisis.
I mean, I would like, Tim works at the library. I would love for Tim to define what a book related crisis looks like.
I did have another kind of crisis, Tim, while you're asking. Like you, Kristin, I was waiting on my holds list, and so I looked at what's available now, and I picked a book called Vintage Contemporaries. I knew nothing about it, but I liked the look of the cover. And I started listening to it, and I was really enjoying it. It's kind of a coming of age slice of life in New York. And I was about 76% done, and it got recalled. I guess I hadn't paid attention. I thought I only had it for a few days, but I don't know. It must have been lingering longer. I thought I was reading it pretty quickly. So now I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I was going to borrow it again. And now I'm like second in line or something. Other people got ahead of me.
Do you listen to it in the Kindle app on your phone?
In the Libby app on my phone.
In the Libby app? Okay. I've noticed, because I read on Kindle, that if I leave the book open on my Kindle, even though in Libby it says it's been retracted, I can still finish it in Kindle as long as I don't close the book out. I can't you have to keep the pages open, but I've learned that there's like a little way to navigate around that to finish up.
Oh, so wait, on Kindle, you're actually using your eyeballs and reading it?
Yes, I'm actually using my eyeballs.
Okay, I'm listening to the audiobook when I use the Libby app.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And so I did still have it open. Like
Yeah.
I'd been listening to it earlier in the day, and then I finally had a break, and I was going to listen to it again while I like loaded the dishwasher, and then I'm like, it's gone.
Can you listen in
Tim said, could you narrow the scope of that question? There are many and varied book related crises.
I'm just curious. I wanna know,
Yeah, but the majority involved having to wait a long time for a popular book on hold.
oh, man. I mean, there are times too where if it's something I really wanna read or we've got vacation coming up and I've had a book that I've been waiting for, I will just go buy it. It's like, if it's this good and it costs me $9.99, like, who cares? I'm going on vacation, so sometimes I will just do it.
Exactly. Right. Like if it's something that I really feel like I'm going to be invested in, I
Yes.
obviously love to buy books. So
Yeah.
and Jason is also very generous. He has an Audible account, and if he's got an extra credit, like the book that disappeared on me yesterday, he's like, "Oh, if I had an Audible credit," I'm like, "Oh no, no, no! I don't love it that much that I want you to own it yet. Like, let's just save that."
Yes. I do it a lot where I get, credits on Amazon for taking delayed shipping, and then
Oh,
you can use those digital credits for books or, sometimes we watch movies with them, so if there's a movie we wanna watch that's not, like, available streaming for free, then we'll go onto Amazon Prime, and then you can use credits for that, so that's also one day where, like, if I'm getting something and I don't need it rushed, then I just take the credit.
oh, that's awesome! How
Yeah,
smart.
it is it's kind of a nice little workaround.
Hey, we have a bird feeder, and for a while, no birds were interested. And I think that's just because it was installed so late in the season last year. But now we've had some visitors. A couple of mourning doves have been revisiting, and this morning I woke up and I heard some red-winged blackbirds. So it's like bird TV.
Love that. We were out at the marsh in Elkhart Lake, which they have bird feeders all around there, and there's all different kinds of things there. And we saw a lot of sparrows. They must have sparrow nests there flinging around, and yeah, little blackbirds, and I saw a blue jay one of the days, and it's just I'm not like a big bird watcher. I'm not infatuated by them, but I did take notice like, wow, there's a lot of birds and then they're making so many different sounds and it was just kind of really neat to see them.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating to observe what's going on in the bird kingdom.
Yeah. I love that. So those are mourning doves, I think, right?
Yes. Tim
Uh,
said, I put those birds there. You're welcome. Muchas gracias, amigo.
so do you have a certain kind of feeder or a certain kind of like house that is going to attract certain types, or was it just like whatever we get, we get?
No, so a good friend of my mom gifted it to us, and it's got like a house-shaped repository, and I think there's like some kind of black seeds in there, and then there's like a tray underneath that that has something else, and then there's like suet packets on each side.
Okay. So there's a lot of variety. There's options.
There are options. Now I'm thinking what's missing possibly is like a finch seed of some kind.
Okay.
I could feel your sadness of being bird deficient. Thanks, Tim. Hey, we'd love some finches over here too if you're on it.
Does Jason, since Jason's working out at Woodland Dunes, they obviously have a ton of bird feeders and the variety of birds out there is amazing. Has he become more interested since he started working at Woodland Dunes?
He has. It's so interesting to see. And like if we're driving, if we're going somewhere, for example, to an appointment and there's bird activity outside, I can see him like looking out the window, making observations, in a way that he never did before.
Sure. That's really cool. A little bit different topic, but yesterday Nora and I were driving to where? I think we were driving to the soccer field and a beaver crossed the road.
That's unusual.
And I like immediately I didn't hit the it brakes, but I like took my foot off the accelerator. And I was like, oh, please let him get across. Please let him get across. And Nora was like looking out the window. She's like, okay, he's safe. He crossed. And at first I wasn't sure if it was a beaver or a woodchuck, but it was definitely like, a fat, chunky little short legged friend. And she's like, I'm pretty sure it was a beaver because he had a big, flappy tail.
A
So.
big flappy tail. Wow. Wow. Tim said, we had a pair of mourning doves that visit from spring to fall for about a decade. I find a great deal of comfort in these birds. Yeah, and their song is so beautiful.
And they're just like, they're just calm. They don't seem to really, cause a whole lot of issues.
Tim, by the way, I have asked, and apparently that's a no-go. And okay, Kayla said, this week is peak migration for birds in Wisconsin. Yes, I did hear that. Any idea, Kayla, can you tell us like why?
It's the cool weather. Just kidding. It's
Well,
I'm sure it's like the time of year then they're building nests and they're going to be having babies and all the things, right? So they need time to get settled in.
and it's just fascinating that they know that. It's like a predicted thing.
It's just bird nature.
Tim said a badger crossed Waldo in front of Mara's car yesterday. A badger?
Yeah, I want to know more about this.
Wow, I've only ever seen a badger at the zoo.
Me also, same. I mean, I know they're around, but
I didn't know they were just around, like in the city. Like I didn't know they were around on Odell Boulevard.
We do live in the Badger State.
I know.
The home of the Badgers.
Which the name is taken from like the long ago miners that would like they'd have to dig into for shelter. I don't know. It had something to do with the people behaving more like badgers than actual abundance of badgers.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you that they're a ferocious little animal and they do exist.
Which is why it's kind of scary to think about them just wandering across Waldo Boulevard. Tim said, I know. Okay, let's figure this out. I know and I thong more than she saw a badger in the wild. I don't know how to interpret that statement.
Tim, I think you just shared more than we wanted to know about you.
Tim, drink a cup of coffee and then post again. Let's see. She just hoped it would make it all the way across. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Are you texting and driving?
Is this speech to text?
Actually, I cannot even talk about this. I feel like my phone, I will be texting and it will make perfect sense to me and it will look perfect sense. And I hit send and then I look down and none of the words are like what I wrote. And I'm like, I feel like some autocorrect is like, what did it just do?
Yeah, and why autocorrect? Did you think that's what I intended?
Yes. Yeah. I was texting something about the girls yesterday and it said, it like either I typed it, which is completely possible, but it said files. And the person that I was texting to was like, is that what you think of your girls as files, like getting them in order? And I was like, no, girls.
Tim said, all I know is that she saw a badger. I have no info, nor a thong. Okay. Yeah, I had to turn autocorrect off on my phone because it was just too wild.
Yeah, I was really starting to think like, am I going crazy? Am I not capable of typing? Am I hitting that many different things? But I do think sometimes that you start a word and it switches out without you really knowing what's happening.
Yeah, I think that's quite possible.
Or it's like predictive text and maybe that's where it's getting into trouble. I don't know.
I think that that's part of the problem too, because then as you're going along, you don't even realize it's offering you something. You're typing the next thing, but it thinks you're accepting, right?
Yeah. Yes, I do think that could be a real possibility.
Tim just admitted his secret shame. I'm an awful keyboarder.
I'm great at these. I do prefer, if I can, to text from my computer just because I feel like, again, the accuracy and like how fast it is, it's just so much better.
Well, yeah, and since I'm doing it all one-handed, I feel like I have much better control with the larger keys rather than I was able to on my phone, you can choose a keyboard that is like condensed rather than full screen. So that helps, with the thumb reach. But
Yes.
it also means that like I feel like anytime I type the word of, it comes out as if because the I and the O are right next to each other.
Yes. I've started using talk to text more. I feel like the accuracy is a little bit better than it used to be. Um, and sometimes it's just easier to do that than to like sit and try to type it all out. Do you find yourself using that?
I remember in the very earliest days of talk to text, when it would start to put your voicemails into text and then it
Yes.
would send. So I worked at this company and it would send you an email that had the voicemail text, and I got this email and it said something about horror under the stairs, and I said to my work, I'm like, what's happening? We need to listen to this voicemail. There is some horror under the stairs. And it turned out that is not what was being said at all. It just misinterpreted the person's voice.
That clearly impacted you.
So I'm really, really cautious about those because
Yeah. It's gotten a lot better in the year. Like it will actually put periods and things in now. I mean, you can tell it to put a period in, but it breaks sentences up kind of how you naturally speak, which is just really helpful sometimes,
yeah.
especially like when I'm coordinating kiddo stuff and checking in with other parents. It's just so easy to send a quick note.
Yeah, there are absolute benefits. You just want to make sure you have enough time to review it, right? To make sure, like, is this saying what I intended it to say?
Yeah.
Or is it something about a thong that the girls will not understand?
Or that. Hey, I have a question for you. Yesterday, I started watching a YouTube video. It was a Simon Sinek one, and he had a gentleman on whose name is Tom Nash. Are you familiar with this name?
Why do I know that name?
So he considers himself an anti-victim, not a victim. And the name of this podcast was called "Stop Telling Us Everything Happens for a Reason." And he had a meningitis. He contracted meningitis, and he lost both of his legs and both of his arms. So he is not
Quad.
collegiate, but he has prosthesis on all four of his limbs. And do you see Tom?
Yes, but I want to hear more about Tom Nash. Let the thong go. The thong thing. What is this thong?
And so he just, first of all, talked about like he has super dark, funny humor. And he said kids ask him a lot if he's a pirate.
Oh,
So I wondered, have you been asked that? You don't have a hook. He has two hooks on the ends of his prosthesis, at least in the video he did. Have you ever been asked if you were a pirate?
I've not been asked if I'm a pirate. Robot, yes,
Yes.
but not pirate.
That's the other one he said is if he's a robot, which he says, I always say yes. And he said kids often stare, as do adults. And he said, I just try to make people super comfortable with it. Like, this is my reality. I want to talk about it. I want to welcome them. I want to like honor their curiosity. And he cracks a joke in there about how people pay millions of dollars and do all kinds of things to be influencers online and to get people's attention. And he literally gets people's attention all the time, and he doesn't want it.
Just cost him an arm and a leg.
Or two arms and two legs.
But I love his attitude, though. I think that is a great attitude to have.
And it was like, oh my gosh, that's really a brilliant and very interesting way to think about it. But he just talks so much about resiliency and how you get to choose your approach, which is very much what you've said. Like, I can choose to be grumpy about it, or I can choose to have a positive attitude. And it just was a really good listen. And it just gave me just another perspective on just what you've been through, but just also like how incredible you are with a mindset.
Aw, thank you for saying that. Can you share a link to that? I would love to listen to that.
Absolutely. I did not.
Tim said you need the specialty prosthetic. Then people will ask if you're a supervillain. When kids will be like, "Oh, that's so cool. I want that." I do always make sure I say, "You know what? This is cool in a very helpful way, but your own hands are so much better. They're so much more powerful, so much more capable. Like, definitely appreciate that." But yeah,
Yes.
what questions do you have? Let me show you.
Yes. Yes. So I will share it in the link. I didn't get to finish it yesterday. I got probably about halfway through it. I just was listening to it between clients yesterday. But, one of the interesting things is he had lost both of his legs. He was in the hospital. And then the doctor came to him and they were going to have to amputate his hands. And he said, the doctor totally understood his humor, by the way. And the doctor said, okay, we have two options. I want to talk with you about it. And he was like, okay. And the doctor said, your first option is to have both of your arms amputated, which from a quality of life standpoint is really hard. It's hard enough having one prosthetic, but having two, right? And he was like, okay. And he said, and the other option, and the doctor said, death. Right? But he said, he gave me a choice. I got to choose that. And I think about like how powerful it is just saying like, I can choose to fight or I can choose not to. And just even how empowered he was by the choice to say, yeah, I'd live this way. And he would actually say now, having the perspective he has, that he's thankful that he is the way that he is.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just thankful to be alive, but thankful to have those circumstances.
Everything he's been through, the pain he endured, all the stuff. Yeah. So
I'm tracking this down. I definitely need to listen to it. Tom Nash. All right. That must be why I recognize his name.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, it just came out yesterday or the day before. So I will drop it in the link, but you guys go listen to it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful perspective.
Tim, I don't have a frame of reference for what you're saying.
I do remember Jeannie from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I didn't get to watch that when I was a kid.
No.
I missed the whole like Pee-wee's Playhouse phenomenon.
That might actually benefit you.
Well, Kristin, this has been so much fun. Thanks for participating in the chat with us. It has been so cool this morning having a great conversation. I've loved everything we've talked about, and I'm definitely going to track down Tom Nash.
I'll send it to you guys. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Stay warm.
Get out there and enjoy. You've been watching Coffee with Kristin and Tina. This is Kristin Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. We'll see y'all next time.